So my name is Jarrett Blanc. I'm currently a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. I spent about 8 years in the Obama administration, the first 6 years in the Office of the Special Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan. Well, first of all, I think credit where credit's due. I think it's a good thing that he gave the speech. It's an important disciplining moment for a president to be forced to explain where he's going to the country. And I actually like the fact that he started by admitting that he was changing his mind, which is something that this president hasn't always done. Now that said, there was very little of substance in the speech. What was really described was a continuation of the status quo with a lot of bellicose rhetoric about how it was a radical change in policy. And that's unfortunate because if there's one area of our foreign policy that could really do with a rethink, it's Afghanistan. And it's clear that that's not what's happened here. I think that there was a real muddle about who it is our military is supposed to be going after in Afghanistan, everything from terrorists to criminal networks. Well, what does that mean? Why specifically are we concerned about criminal networks in Afghanistan? We should be concerned about terrorists who have an international agenda, and we should figure out political solutions to every other problem. He also said that the Afghan government will need to make anti-corruption reforms and do all these various things because they don't have a quote-unquote blank check. So how that all balances out and what he means on a specific basis, I'm not really sure. Now, what he could have said was that we were trying to distinguish between our enemies and groups in Afghanistan that don't need to be our enemies, right? There are people in Afghanistan, organizations in Afghanistan that are taking advantage of the chaos there in order to plan attacks against us and our allies. Those are people against whom we need to defend ourselves, probably with military force, and who knows, maybe even with a few more troops. Then there are people in Afghanistan who are fighting about Afghanistan, and that largely includes the Taliban. So if he had said, we're not going to dictate the future of Afghanistan, and in fact there's even a place for the Taliban in the future of Afghanistan, that might have suggested a way forward that really would have allowed us to direct our attentions where it belongs, and broadly speaking, what he said he wanted to do, which is to pay attention to the national security requirements of the United States.